Assalamalaikum everyone, and welcome to an episode of Monday Meal Prep. I meal prep my lunches and dinners just so it makes life a little bit easier throughout the week when the kids have school. So today I'm making 2 salads and a pasta for my kids' lunch, and I'll also be marinating roasts as well that we can use because those make such easy dinners throughout the week. So I'm just going to start by cutting 2 onions. One is going to go into my green bean or Phalli masala. My kids love green beans. It's their favorite vegetable. Alhamdulillah. And the second I'm just dicing up to put in the kids' pasta. I'm making like a Chinese type pasta with a lot of veggies and chicken. So I'm just cutting those up, and I'm gonna add some bell peppers and shredded carrots as well. You can add pretty much any veggies you have on hand. I just chose these because I have a picky eater, and these are the only veggies that she will touch. So now I'm just gonna make my Phalli masala, just the regular onions and tomatoes, sauteing them. And what I'm gonna do is once I kind of mix everything up, I'm gonna just put the lid on so the tomatoes can get steamed. So I'm just putting in haldi, some red chili powder, and some coriander powder, keeping it very simple. And we do almost minimal spices. I'm also adding salt just to soften up the onions and tomatoes. So after I add that in, I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on and steam the tomatoes for a couple of minutes. Friends, your meal prep might look different than mine. I watch all these videos that are, the moms are doing like crazy, like 5 dishes and 6 dishes. Just do what works for your family. I know they can seem very overwhelming. I used to get overwhelmed too, but if you adjust to what your family's needs are, it just makes everything easier for everyone and less stressful. So now I'm just putting the lid on. I'm gonna turn on low. Water's ready for pasta. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and do some dishes. I didn't record because that's boring to watch. But see, so I let the tomatoes steam for a few minutes, and the peels come right off. I've seen some people boil tomatoes and then blanch them and then peel off. This is a lot easier and just kind of a one pot thing. So that's just what I do. So I'm using the elbow macaronis today because that's what my daughter requested. So the masala is almost done, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the green beans or the phalli to this. And I'm gonna go ahead and stir it up and basically cover this and put it on low. And these will cook for about 45 minutes to an hour on low. And that's it. That's the easiest veggie you can ever make. So next I'm making some ground chicken burgers. These are perfect for kids' school lunches. What I do is I make a big batch and I freeze them, and they work so well for chicken burgers. My daughters love them. So I have like 2 pounds of ground chicken with some spices, whichever spices you prefer. My kids obviously are not big on spices, so we kept it very minimal. And I'm adding cheese and an egg as a binder. And with my, I have like a little dish of water that I will use to wet my hands each time I shape the patty. You can make them any size you want. You can even make meatballs, but these just work well for my family. Sometimes I even, so once I'll make the patty, I even coat them in bread crumbs or like panko crumbs. But this time I didn't. I figured, you know, it's fine. It works just as well. So why add the extra gluten? So I just make the patties and I layer them on top of each other and place parchment in between. These will go in the freezer, and once they're frozen, I bag them up in a Ziploc bag and use them throughout the week. And this is how they look. My pasta's done, so here I am draining, and I'm actually gonna add a little bit of oil. The oil makes them non-stick, so they don't clump up while you cook or even later on. So that's a little tip for you. You can put it right now when they're hot and just kind of move them around with your spoon. So for the chow mein pasta, Chinese pasta, I go ahead and fried 2-3 garlic cloves, and then I added the chicken. And once the chicken is cooked and browned, I'm go ahead and go put it in a separate bowl. And see those little brown bits? That's a lot of flavor. So make sure you don't rinse that or throw it out. I'm gonna throw in the onions, and those onions will actually like soak in all the juices from the chicken and turn really yummy. So I'm gonna fry this on high because you don't want these vegetables to wilt. You want them just to get a little bit of tender, and you still want to crunch them, right? So I'm gonna add the onions and the carrots, the bell peppers. I didn't have cabbage. I usually add cabbage. So that makes it really yummy too. But go ahead and mix this and cook them for about 2-3 minutes on high flame. I'm gonna add the chicken back in, and then I'm gonna add the macaroni back in. And here I am adding the sauce. I made the sauce prior to making the pasta, so here are the ingredients. You can make them yourself and adjust to your liking. I forgot to add salt and pepper, so season according to your liking. And give that a good mix, and then you can put it on low for a few minutes so the macaroni really like absorb all that sauce and that flavor. And that's basically it. That's done. This was so last minute. I decided to make a chicken karahi as well. So this is super easy. You just fry up some zira, and I believe I'm using coriander powder, red chili powder, some garlic, turmeric, and you give that a good fry for about 30 seconds or so. And then you're gonna add your chicken. I used about 2 chicken breasts for this. Cut up into bite-sized pieces and give that a good mix and cook until the color changes and the liquid has been absorbed. Not absorbed, sorry, the liquid has evaporated. I add a little bit of cumin powder and some garam masala. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add tomatoes. I added like a pureed tomato, about 2 tomatoes, and you're gonna cook those down. I didn't get a complete video of this, but basically cook those down and this is all set, all done. And this is my lamb marinade that I do when I bake it. We use it for sandwiches or just as is. Super easy to make. And that's it basically, guys. So I hope you had a good Monday and I hope this motivates you to meal prep, because honestly it's such a game changer. It saves so much time throughout the week. Thank you, and please subscribe and like if you enjoyed this.